Figma's MCP server brings Figma directly into your development workflow, giving AI agents access to the structured design context needed to generate accurate, design-informed code. In this video, we'll walk you through how to set up the remote Figma MCP server in these development tools. For a complete list of supported agents, check out our Guide to the Figma MCP Server article to learn more. Be sure to install the development tools on your computer before setup, and feel free to jump ahead to the tool you plan to use. Let's start with Claude Code. The recommended way to set up the Figma MCP server in Claude Code is by installing the Figma plugin, which includes MCP server settings as well as agent skills for common workflows. To set up the Figma MCP server in Claude Code, open your terminal and run the following command, which you can find in our Help Center. Press Enter to start the installation process, then restart Claude Code if it was running. Type /plugin and press the Enter key to open the plugin marketplace. Use the right arrow key on your keyboard to navigate to the Installed tab. Use the arrow key to navigate to the Figma MCP server and press Enter. Press Enter again to begin the authentication process. Click Allow Access to authenticate and allow Claude Code to access your Figma account. After you finish authentication, return to the terminal and use the /plugin command to head to the plugin marketplace again. Under the Installed tab, the Figma plugin is enabled, and the Figma server should now display as connected, and you're ready to start prompting in Claude Code. Now, let's set up Cursor. Like Claude Code, we recommend setting up the Figma MCP server in Cursor by installing the Figma plugin. Open the command palette in Cursor and search for Open Chat. In the chat window, enter /add plugin Figma in the prompt box, then click Submit. Click Add Plugin to begin the installation process. After installation, open the command palette again and search for Cursor Settings. Select Tools and MCP and click Connect to start the authentication process. You should then see the Figma MCP server enabled in Cursor and ready to use. To set up the Figma MCP server in Codex, select Plugins from the sidebar. Click the plus sign next to Figma and click Install Figma to begin the installation process. Go through the installation and authentication process. Once you're done, head back to Codex. The Figma plugin should now be connected, and you're ready to start using Figma in Codex. For VS Code, make sure you have GitHub Copilot enabled before setting up the Figma MCP server. Open the command palette and search for MCP Open User Configuration. In the mcp.json file, paste the following code, which you can find in the Figma Help Center. Then save the file. You'll see a Start button above the Figma MCP server name. Click it to start the authentication process. Complete the authentication process with your Figma account in an external window. Once you're done, you should see that the Figma MCP server is running in VS Code. Now that you've gotten the Figma MCP server set up, here are a few tips on how it works. The Figma Remote MCP server is link-based. This means you need to provide a link to the context you want the MCP server to use. To get the link to an object, select a layer or a frame in any of your Figma Design files. Right-click it and choose Copy Link to Selection. You can also copy the URL to that layer from your browser's address bar. This includes the node ID for the object in your file. Then paste the URL into your development tool to scope your prompt to that node. You can also use the entire file URL if you have nothing selected on the canvas and copy the URL from the address bar. This lets you extract context from the entire design file. If you're using the MCP server with Figma Make, you'll likely want to pass the entire file URL using this method. With the Figma MCP server set up, you're ready to bring the context of all of your designs right into your development tools. Trying to set up the Figma MCP server in other code editors? Check out the Figma MCP catalog to learn more.